Hey there, gang. Lauren here, the Gratitude Addict. And I say that every week, but tonight I'm actually like channeling my alter ego. Besides the Gratitude Addict, I am Mrs. Tomato Head. And I'll explain for a bit. I was telling my guest, Jen Joy, who's backstage, and she's awesome. And I want to bring her out here ASAP because the hour's going to go very, very quickly. But I was telling her before the show that it feels a little strange. I've been doing this broadcast since 2020. I run a community on Facebook called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. I've run it for almost 9 years. And the purpose of this broadcast is not just for people with chronic pain and illness, but for everybody who's got life struggles, who's everybody, to find the power of practicing gratitude and not looking on the bright side because that doesn't work, and not just deciding to be grateful because that doesn't work either, but just to find solutions, tips, and tricks to make our lives better. So while a large portion of my audience does come from inside the group, AOG is what we lovingly refer to it. It streams on all my public channels as well, including my new YouTube channel, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, and my Facebook page, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. So for those of you, my new tomato friends who are watching, welcome. I do this show just about every Thursday. I normally have expert guests on that help us to find joy, like Jen Joy, your life. That's Jen's tagline, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. To find really hope in this life of struggle. For those of you watching from AOG, I just want to remind you that because AOG is a private group, you need to grant StreamYard is the platform I use to broadcast, and it enables me to stream to several places at once, which I love. Also enables me to put comments on the screen, like this one, like Kathy, one of our tomato friends. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for watching. I love for this to be an interactive broadcast and to incorporate all of us into it. So if you're watching from AOG, I'm giving away some really nifty gifts at the end of the episode. You want to make sure you've granted StreamYard permission to use your name. If not, my giveaway tool will not work for you. Best bet, watch from my YouTube channel. One of the YouTube channels, those are public. And if you're in the group, I did pin that to the top of the group page today. So either Gratitude Addict YouTube channel or Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, or, any of my public channels will work. But inside the group itself, it will not. It's going to look to you like your name shows up, but to me, it will not. I'll share with you what the prizes are in a minute. Before I bring Jen on, the reason why I'm doing this episode, so I'm marrying my two passions together. Passion one is spreading the message of gratitude and how it has helped me in my journey of over 23 years living with chronic pain and illness. But also, came from a place of a very deep rock bottom 10 years ago, and finding, strategies that help me to live a joyful life. One of them is gardening. And to be honest with you, it's only kind of recently the gardening part. It's always been tomato gardening for like 30 years, but the rest of the gardening, I had a black thumb. So it's only the past couple of years where I've kind of ventured into other things other than basil. I always did that. So I'm super excited because I am a tomato head. I am very obsessed with tomatoes, and I've met my match. She might even be, she's laughing backstage. She makes me look kind of normal, which is one of the reasons why I love her. But before I bring her on, besides, that public service announcement about the group, making sure you sign in, you can find out more about me and my story and the groups that I offer. My website is gratitudeaddict.com. And the YouTube channel, you can subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I was going to share this later. So Sandy Montgomery, who's one of our moderators in AOG, she just sent this to me like 15 minutes ago. It's springtime when dirt falls out of your bra at the end of the day. I love it. Going on the same topic, next week my buddy Nicole Spadafora, who's a floral designer from Spadafloral's floral design locally. We've known each other for like 15, 20 years. She's going to be back on the show next week. I was going to have her pop on for tonight, but she since she was last on the show like 2 years ago, she's gone through a major loss in her life, and she was sharing with me about how gardening, foraging, and looking deeply, actually venturing into the woods, how that has helped her deal with grief and through gratitude. So she's going to be on next week to kind of continue with this topic. So without further ado, I want to bring on my new BFF, Jen Joy
Hi,
from.
BFF.
Hey there, buddy. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. We only met, I don't even know, 6 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's been that long.
I don't know either, but we met through a wonderful. I'm going to share 2 groups that are very important to me tonight. One of them is Tomato Obsession.
Yes.
This is where we met. If you like
Best
tomatoes,
group ever.
And Jen is a moderator
Yes.
of this wonderful group. What I like about it is everybody's kind. Sometimes you'll post a picture like, what's wrong with my seedlings? And you'll get jumped on in other groups. Not this group. This is very kind, generous people. So if you like to grow tomatoes, I recommend Tomato Obsession. So we met through there. I think we were talking about micro dwarf tomatoes, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I shared that I'm doing this project, which is kind of crazy, to try to grow every micro dwarf tomato. And I shared how many varieties I thought there was. And Jen chimed in and she's like, wait a minute, we need to talk. And we did this massive trade. And,
like, wait, she's got more than me. I have to know her.
Yeah. Yeah. So her YouTube channel is called Jen Joy. Here it is right here. Jen Joy, and Jen Joy Your Day is her tagline. And she has a wonderful vlog on there. A lot is focused on tomatoes, but other things as well. And the life's ups and downs. And I had been watching your stuff. I was telling you, I'd been watching some of your videos before I knew I was talking to the YouTube person. Yeah. And I just relate to you so much because you're just very authentic. You're not polished and all of that. So
yeah, I don't really relate to that kind of stuff because it feels fake to me to try to come off as somebody that knows what they're doing, because half the time I don't. Gardening is a lot of just kind of experimental, sometimes when you think you're doing everything right, the weather or something can just kind of slap you in the face. And
yeah, like your greenhouse. I hate to bring up a sore subject, but your greenhouse, a bad storm.
Windstorm. Yeah. Big old tree took it out. And my chicken coop. It was not the greatest Christmas, like I say, because it was like 2 days before Christmas that happened. Yeah.
And you'll show your seedlings that died. Like, you're very authentic, and I relate to that.
Yeah, I screw up. I kill stuff all the time.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I can relate to you. I mean, even just, we met earlier today. I kicked myself out of our meeting, and then you kicked yourself out of our meeting. So we are sisters in that way. Please feel free, gang, during this entire episode, please feel free to weigh in with any strategies that you may have for gardening, what you love in gardening, any questions you may have for Jen. I'm going to have you share, kind of your journey in a minute. But the gift I was telling you about, the reason why you want to make sure you're signed in if you're in AOG, is I've put together this cute little package. I'm calling it the Kitchen Counter Garden Seed Prize. So it's seeds for a brand new variety of cucumber called Quick Snack Cucumber that you can actually grow on your kitchen counter. No joke. A micro dwarf tomato called Pinocchio Orange, which I've got right here, courtesy of Ken Fry from Forgotten Heirlooms. And then Fresh Bites yellow pepper. All of these you can grow on your kitchen counter. Hopefully a window is nearby. So anytime during tonight's broadcast, all you need to do is put in, I have a nifty graphic here if I can find it, hashtag gratitude. Here it is. Hashtag gratitude in the comments anytime during our hour, and then we'll do a drawing at the end. So you want to make sure it's a pretty nifty prize. I was pretty proud of myself. So I already explained in the opening that I have not always been a gardener other than tomatoes. I considered myself to have a black thumb. Tell us like your journey, how you got started and now you're this tomato goddess.
I just stumbled upon, I don't know, you probably heard of Roots and Refuge on YouTube
Yes.
before.
Yes, I
So
have.
I stumbled upon one of her garden tours in February, and we had just like extended our yard, and the cliff that I'm gardening on wasn't always there. We kind of added all the dirt, and then I decided after doing that I wanted to have a garden. And I was like, well, now where am I going to put the garden? So I had saw on Pinterest like a terraced garden, and I went to my husband and I was like, can you build this for me? And he's like, well, I can try. And so we had gotten a bunch of scrap wood from a scrap wood yard, and because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something I didn't know I was going to fall in love with.
Right.
And so he built it, which that side is now falling apart. So
Is
he's
that
rebuilding
what's in this picture? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Right.
that's the second set. There's another set on the left that's falling apart.
Oh, okay.
But he's rebuilding it. But he told me, he was like, I bet you're not going to garden for 3 years. He was wrong. So that's been 5 years ago. And I just
Jess from Roots and Refuge has the tendency to do that.
inspire people. And because she had so many, like, I thought there was like 5 varieties of tomatoes, just boring old tomatoes that tasted kind of like water and paper.
Yeah.
And then she was so excited about all her varieties. And I was like, I need to try these. And my husband was like, oh, how different can a homegrown tomato be? Well, he's sold. He tasted like the first one I grew, and he was just like, oh my gosh. They're so different. And all the different varieties, like yellow ones, not all yellow tomatoes taste the same.
Right.
Not all green tomatoes taste the same. It's really eye-opening, and it's so much fun to collect them all. There's like over 25,000 varieties. So I'm just, I fell in love with tomatoes, and I just wanted to grow them all, taste them all, find the perfect one.
And I feel like that's what Rob and I, Mr. Tomato Head, have been doing for years, is like we only carry over to the next year like our top favorites. And as of this year, our top favorites are Malachite Box is the English name, or Malachitovaya Shkatulka in Russian.
Good for you.
Pink Berkeley tie-dye. And then our own variety, which we got from an accidental cross, we call Bananas Noir. So those carried over, and then a cherry and all that. But everything else is brand new, because I'm always searching for that, oh my God. After you taste it, that, oh my God. So I can relate to that.
Yeah, I like to do tomato taste tests on my YouTube channel too. So
you do. I love that.
I have a very big variety to choose from this year. I think I've started 400 different varieties, so I should be doing quite a few taste tests this year.
It's funny. Your number keeps going up every time I talk to you or watch a video. My number keeps going up as well. So my husband's building, a couple new beds and in-ground and stuff. He's like, it would help if we like knew how many. And I'm like, well, it's so subjective. Like I can fill up any space,
Yep. And even when you think I can fit this many in there, well, some of them are going to get diseases, and you're going to have to pull them out. It's good to have those backups.
It certainly is. A couple of things I want to hear from you guys tonight. I kind of already mentioned. For those of you living with chronic pain and garden, what tips do you have for our other viewers? How do you get around that? What ways? And I'm going to share some of my ways. Actually, I filmed a little video earlier because I needed to go outside. So what tips or strategies do you have? What creative ways have you used to garden with little to no garden space? And I know I want to talk to you about that too, Jen, because originally you said you live on 1/4 of an acre, right? And then it was all on a downslope.
Yeah, it's on a hill. I mean, I've got some grow pots and things like that.
Right.
I've got green stalks.
Yeah, I've got that to show as well. And what do you enjoy growing, if anything? There are so many. I don't want to, bore you guys with the statistics, but there's so many health benefits to gardening. And from this amazing source, which is my second book, week 49 is a chapter on connecting with nature and grounding. And some of the benefits include reducing inflammation, cardiovascular disease, muscle damage, and even chronic pain. I didn't make that up. I actually researched that. And then, of course, the sun providing us with vitamin D. So there are a lot of good things. But I also, for me, I find it so relaxing most of the time. And I love getting my hands in the dirt. I find it such a mindfulness activity. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm always dirty. I showered for your show though.
Dirt coming out of the bra.
There's just, yes, every day. Like, and my poor phone, because it's covered in dirt all the time. It's got like a case on it, and when I take the case off to put it in like the tripod holder, just dirt falls.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow.
And my fingernails. I don't like gardening gloves, so I use my hands. And even if I shower, wash my hands like crazy, there's always dirt under my fingernails. I'm like, I swear I'm not dirty. Let's get to some of the comments. I'm sorry, what's that, Jen?
I said they'd never let me be a surgeon.
No, me neither. So we got Kathy. Hey, Kathy, thanks for watching.
Kathy.
I'm sure you know. I know you guys know each other. Linda's our senior moderator in the group. Hey, Linda, thanks for watching.
Hello, Linda.
Hi, Heidi. No, your picture didn't show up. I would watch on the YouTube channel. Magdalena. Hey, Magdalena.
Oh.
How are you, my friend? My dad. Mimi and Pop Tomato Head are watching. Hey, Dad.
Hello.
Mel, hi, Lauren. Watching from Pennsylvania. Thanks for watching, Melanie. Kathy says it's a learning process for sure. For sure. Yeah. Cheryl's here. Cheryl is one of our tomato heads too. Hey, Cheryl. Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you.
This is somebody from in the group. Because you come up as Facebook user. So if this is your comment, you may want to watch on the YouTube channel, but your comment says, I am brand new to gardening and it is a big learning curve. My friend is bringing me a tomato plant for my birthday on Saturday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. For sure. My mom says, looks like you met your match, Laura. I have. Oh my gosh.
It's so much fun.
Cry. Mr. Berger was my freshman year social studies teacher. Mr. Berger. Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Berger.
I'm going to cry. That's so nice of you to watch.
That's so sweet.
Such a nice surprise. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Berger. Magdalena says, I use car tires when I live in Poland. That was my garden bed. Those look cool, those tire garden beds.
I've actually got some tires that I'm thinking about doing that with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to replace my car tires, and I was like, I'm gonna keep those. Give me because they charge you like $5 to dispose of them.
Do they really?
Like, yeah. I was like, I'll reuse them. Just put them in my trunk.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna use them for either that or a chicken dust bath. You put sand in it, and then I don't know if you know chickens, they actually bathe themselves in dirt.
I did not.
I got a video of it today. It's the funniest thing to watch them just flop around in the dirt. But yeah, you put sand in it, and then they can like dust bathe in the sandbox that is a tire.
It must be super cute. She shares all about her chickens. She shares about everything.
I share pretty much everything.
And I've put the logo up, but to find her, you want to just go to Jen Cordial on YouTube. And it's such a fun channel, funny, informative for sure.
Thank you.
What I think the first video I watched of yours, and one of the things I love is your seed hauls.
Oh yeah. So there's plenty of those.
Yeah, we do in Tomato Obsession and some other groups, one other group I'm going to mention that I love a lot. We do seed trades, and you and we just did a massive one of like 65 or so varieties. And so you will go often on your channel and do like that month's trades, and you share about each one, and then you go through the process of like editing. So you share a picture of each one.
Yeah. It's a long process, but they're fun. And I first did it for me because I thought, well, when I go back, to pick out what I want to grow, which was everything anyways. But I thought when I go to pick out, I can just watch that video and be like, okay, I'll grow that one, because it's sort of like what you do on your computer, your spreadsheet.
My crazy spreadsheet.
Yeah, like that. And I thought, well, I can do a YouTube video of that.
That's probably the smarter way. I've never made a spreadsheet in my life. I'm not a spreadsheet person, but when it comes to my tomatoes, I'm all of a sudden organized. But I like seeing the pictures. I need pictures, like how many greens do I have and all of that. We could talk about tomatoes all night.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to show just a short clip of your channel, and it will endear people to you and why I love you so much. So let's take a look. This is at the start, I think, of your November seed haul.
Oh, that's a good look for me.
Sorry.
Okay. November. So I'm going to start this video out by saying, if you like seed hauls, please give this one a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you have any information on any of these varieties of, it's probably going to be mostly tomatoes, peppers too, maybe flowers, please let me know in the comments any knowledge that you have.
Wait for it. And
she can't be contained.
That is why it's just authentic. And that's why I like to come live every week, because it's, I'm all about authenticity and making people feel a part of. But I love that you show your cat. You even show some of your bloopers.
Oh, yeah.
Which I like. Yeah.
Well, they're fun. They're fun.
And
it makes me laugh. I hope to make everyone else laugh with it.
You do. And I think, like, as a society, we're so, busy trying to be perfect, especially with social media and Instagram and all that. We're trying to be Insta worthy or whatever they say. Like, seeing somebody you can relate to, for me, is a biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who I like to watch on YouTube myself. I don't like the perfect, and the people that say that this is exactly how you do it. I don't trust those people, because that is not gardening.
No, it's not.
But yeah, I like to just watch people do their day, and they do their day differently than I do. And that intrigues me. I want to watch that. So I thought, well, I'd like to share my days too, and hopefully make some friends. So. And
you started a little over a year ago.
Yes, it was the very end of January of 2022. And I started with a seed haul. That was.
Did you?
Yes. I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel for probably 10 years.
Really?
But I just didn't have the guts to do it. It started off, I thought, well, maybe I'll do one about makeup, because I like makeup. But then I thought to myself, I don't know what I'm doing when I put on makeup. So and it kind of went from that. And then it went to working out, because I did a lot of lifting weights, a lot of exercising. And then I thought, I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm not going to do that either. And then I got really into gardening, and I thought, okay, well, last year, every year I put on my New Year's resolution or whatever, like my wish list of things I want to do, start a YouTube channel. And I had said, I'm going to do 4 videos the year of 2022. That's what I'm doing. Just 4. It just has to be 4. I can do 4 in an entire year. And I ended up doing over 100 or something like that. So I did the first one, which that's what everyone says to do. Just record a video, just start. And I loved it. I met people, and I really enjoy it.
And clearly other people love you too, because I was going to say you recently hit 1,000, but now you're at what, 1,300 or something like that?
No, I think it's 1,162 or 64. I know the count. Every day I'm always looking. My daughter was like, when you hit 1,000, are you going to stop being so obsessive? And I was like, no.
People love you, as do I.
Oh, thank you.
Your enthusiasm's infectious, and it gets people excited about gardening. And that's what I hope to provide you guys with tonight. If you're not already a gardener, there are ways around, gardening with chronic pain is a challenge. And I've got some things I want to show you. Little bit of, little to no space. I've got, look at this. Can you see these little cucumbers?
Oh my gosh, they're adorable.
So I planted this plant 6, 7 weeks ago. And this is one of the seeds I'm giving away in that package tonight. So make sure you put
That's
hashtag
awesome.
gratitude in the comments. And
Maybe
then,
I'll finally be able to grow cucumbers with that
yeah,
plant.
I'm not great with that either. And then I've fallen in love with micro dwarf tomatoes. Now they run the gamut on size, and trust me, if I show you the picture of upstairs of all the micro dwarfs, but this one is a micro tom. Look at the size of this, gang. That's more tomato than foliage. It's
And plant.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I already kind of gave a little look at, this is Pinocchio orange. And they can just kind of be in a kitchen windowsill, and they're not going to feed your family, but they can give you the benefits of gardening. There's something, so for me, so I don't know, mindful, or it feels so great to grow something from seed and watch it.
Yeah.
And,
This tiny, teeny, tiny little seed can grow
yeah.
that.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Before I let the episode go any further, I keep mentioning this other group that I want, other than Tomato Obsession. My new friend Melanie started this group kind of recently. It's called Free Gardening Tips, Seed and Plant Swap. So if you're on a budget, even if you're not on a budget, I encourage you to join this group. It's a wonderful group. Again, like Tomato Obsession, these are kind people. It's drama free. You can win seeds. You can swap with people. Melanie's also very good, and Melanie is the admin and the founder of the group. She's also very good at putting up links to like places to get free seeds. Free heirloom seeds.net is one of them, and I meant to pull up a picture. I'm sorry, .org, freeheirloomseeds.org. But she's always on the lookout for ways to get free seeds. So if you're looking for seeds, don't have any, you want to maybe do trades, but don't have any to trade, come to this group. People are very kind and generous. And you mentioned this, Jen, in one of your, you recently did a how to seed swap etiquette video.
Mm-hmm.
And you said some people, if they don't have seeds, they'll swap for stamps.
Yeah, I'll totally do that. Yeah,
for sure.
Because I like to swap so much, I always need stamps.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Me too. I haven't sent as much mail in my entire life as when I joined
since I started
Tomato Obsession.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I mentioned I filmed this video earlier today with a couple of the things that I do. Space isn't really an issue where I am, but I still maximize it like crazy. So maybe some of these tips can help you guys. So let's give it a watch. Maybe. Maybe not. Play. All right. Well, something doesn't want, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it doesn't want me to watch. Weird. Well, it was a really good video, I think.
Aww.
Oh, wait, here's a play button. Oh, nothing.
Excuse me. Well, that's a bummer.
Oh, maybe I have to stop yours first. Let's see if this makes a difference. Okay. Well, I don't know. But I was going to, so this thing to the right of me is called a green stalk. I have two of them, and they're vertical planters. You have any, Jen?
Yeah, I have a couple of them.
I'm
going to plant one completely with micro dwarfs this year.
I thought about that. I thought about asking for another one for Mother's Day.
Should have.
Yeah. They're great. They're this one is called the leaf version. There's two different versions. The leaf version has shallower pockets, and then the original is deeper pockets.
I have the original.
Yeah, I got the leaf first, and now does this make a difference? Hang on. Well, that's a shame. But it wouldn't be a Gratefully Living the Chronic Life episode if something didn't go wrong. So we can try again in a bit. So they're great. Like that one's got, I think, 40 pockets. You can plant 40 different things in it. And so I've got I've got cold weather crops, kale and tatsoi and all sorts of things. And then in the other, other things I showed in this wonderful video that you may never see is grow bags. They make these fabric grow bags. So if you can't plant in the ground, the grow bags are a great alternative because you can move them around, and they come in various sizes, like 1 gallon up to who knows 50.
They usually have handles, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they do. And my green stalk, I should mention also for those of you with chronic pain and illness, you can get different bases for it. Mine is on a spinner, which makes it easy to, access all the way around without.
I'm actually having my husband build me a base.
Oh, that's a good idea.
With wheels.
Yeah, they also make, I was going to say, they also make them with wheels.
Yeah.
The other, I do have a slide for this next one. The other thing is all winter long, I grew lettuce indoors. Now, I always found lettuce to be very, very boring. But when you've got the gardening bug and it's winter and there's nothing to grow, what I did is hard to tell from this picture. So that's some of the lettuce I grew this winter. Here you can see it a little better. So those gray things are 2 Rubbermaid bins. I drilled holes in the top one for drainage, and then I just planted lettuce seeds. And you can see there, some of the varieties that are out there are gorgeous. And
there's a lot of variety of lettuces too.
Yep, there are. Rob and I had wonderful salads every night. That's easy to do. You need a grow light, but you can get very inexpensive grow lights on Amazon. Yeah, what else?
I did a video on the grow lights that I got. I think I got like 10 or 12 for like $50.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You are very good at being resourceful when it comes to getting good bang for your buck. Talk about some of your tips.
I'm cheap, that's why.
No, you're not. You just plant a lot.
I got to spend the money where this money needs to go, and that's tomato seeds, not grow lights.
I agree, my friend.
So I'm sorry, what was the question again? I got sidetracked by.
I know we were talking earlier today about, like you were saying, you can get this at the Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah. I actually brought some to like show you because I went a little nuts. I thought, I'm gonna get these for my micro dwarfs, but then I've decided, well, I probably have enough micro dwarfs to do it. But like the Dollar Tree has all different kinds of pots. So like, okay, where's my camera? There's these.
No, you're good. Those are from the Dollar Tree?
These are all from the Dollar Tree. They usually go in stock, I think, around the beginning of February or mid-February. Around the same time Valentine's Day stuff is like on its way out. You'll see they'll put in pots, and even like these. And these are actually really nice because they have, so you see the bottom. So it's like it'll hold a little bit of water.
That's a drip tray. Nice.
Yeah. So you just pop it off and then you set it on there and then it'll hold a little bit of water for you. So, because if you're anything like me, sometimes you forget to water your stuff.
Yeah. And those are perfect for micro dwarfs. Perfect.
Yeah. This is a really good size for micro dwarfs, or like basil. You can go basil in a window. Any kind of herbs is really nice to have fresh herbs when you're cooking.
Yes, for sure. I had a picture of, I was going to talk about the herbs. Like I have a little windowsill herb thingy. That's very technical. Where'd it go? You can just get little planters and put them on your windowsill. And I've got like basil and parsley and must have been a different slide. So that's an easy thing to do. There's also something called, have you tried crack key at all? No. I don't know a lot about it. It's like a hydroponic way of growing things.
Oh, yeah. So you just grow in water. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now with my sweet potato slips. So, yeah, that's what you do. Like you put a sweet potato in dirt and the eyes will grow something similar to that, like the leaves. And then you just pry them off the sweet potato and stick them in a cup of water. And then those will grow roots. And that's what you plant. It's called a sweet potato slip.
I've heard of that. I haven't tried sweet potatoes. That's very cool.
And then the sweet potato slip will then grow sweet potato, for you to eat later on.
And then you can save that and continue on doing it?
Like I say, last year I saved, I think, 2 of my sweet potatoes to grow slips on for this year, which one isn't doing very well, but the other one's doing just fine. So I'll just use all those sweet potato slips. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. And I'm addicted to cloning tomato plants from the suckers.
Yes. Yeah. I did that last year for the first time. And it was just like one of those things where I was pruning suckers and I was like, well, let me just shove this in the dirt and see if it does anything. And they grew. Like I didn't even water them or anything.
It's like, amazing.
I could not believe they just, some people will say break them off and then stick them in a cup of water and they'll grow roots.
Yeah.
Like hydroponics. But yeah, I just stuck them in dirt and just walked away. Thought it's just, an experiment, and they all took off.
They are. Well, so our Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head YouTube channel is a lot about me experimenting with different things. And I did an experiment with suckers a couple months ago, I think. So for those of you not in the know about tomatoes, sucker is, this is gonna be a bit hard to tell on a micro dwarf.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good luck showing that.
In between the main stem and side shoot, there's like, it's going to be hard to tell, but there's often,
so it's like, there's like the main stalk, and then there'll be a leaf, and then in that they call it the armpit.
Yes.
And then there'll be another, what would be an entire tomato plant that grows out of it, and they're called suckers. And a lot of times, if you don't want like a huge bush of a tomato plant, you pluck off the suckers, because a tomato plant is a vine. I don't think a lot of people know that. It's a vining plant. So if you just let it go all along the ground, it will grow roots from the entire stem and just be like a huge bush.
Yeah.
But most people don't do that. They try to grow them upwards because of diseases and things like that. Right. So people think it's just like a up and down. No, it's a vine.
For sure. And you see a lot of examples of that. But so you can so the experiment I did was on suckers, and I did it in water, did it with rooting hormone. I did it in soil. Honestly, the most efficient way was in soil, just sticking it in soil. It cuts out the middleman of water, I found. So anyway, I was addicted to like creating new plants from that. And, there's a lot of ways to kind of continue things going. Seed saving is another. You can save. Yeah, I love saving seeds. You can save seeds and just continue growing. With some crops, it's easier than others. Tomatoes, I find it very easy, but
tomatoes and peppers is so easy.
Yeah.
Peppers even more so. Peppers, you just take them out of the pepper and dry them on a paper towel. That's it. Like,
you don't need to ferment them.
Nope.
Did not know that.
No,
did not know that. Let's get to some comments I'm missing from a lot of you guys. Here's a tip. The trick to get rid of dirt under fingernails is to wash your hair and rub your hands through the hair filled with shampoo. Done it.
Yeah. I just washed my hair and there's still dirt. My nails are probably a little too long for that trick, I would imagine. Well, it's probably for like shorter nails. I don't know. I mean, mine aren't like super long, but I don't want to show them too close.
Yeah, mine aren't bad now because I haven't had my fingers in the soil today. But yeah, it helps. It does help. But yeah, I need like a balm. A lot of people, don't forget to put #gratitude in the comments to win the wonderful prize. Let me show what that is again. Here it is. Kitchen Counter Garden Seed Prize. So it's seeds to grow this cucumber, the Pinocchio orange, micro dwarf tomato, and then this is a kitchen counter. It's a sweet pepper, not a hot pepper. Fresh Bites yellow pepper, it's called. So I'm going to give away a couple of those, but you have to put in #gratitude in the comments. I wanted to show, I found a couple of tools I want to show real quick for those living with chronic pain and illness. For hoses that where like squeezing might be difficult, they offer these spray nozzles where it's really just a thumb movement. That little lever goes up and down with your thumb. So I thought that was pretty clever. This is a universal garden tool called the Cobra Head Precision Weeder. I guess it's so you don't have to get down.
I have one of those.
As far. You have one? Is that what you said?
I have one of those, yeah.
How does it work?
It does really good with weeding stuff. It just
Does
gets
it?
right underneath the roots of that and just pulls it out.
And
I like it.
weeding can be very backbreaking. So yeah, mulching, which I know you're working on now. Mulch is your friend for sure. Hopefully you can still put the video up later. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that back. But love the Dollar Tree. Catherine says I started a Facebook group called the Persistent Gardener.
Oh,
Very
cool.
nice. Good to know. Angela says, I'm trying to root our family's. Hi, Angela. Thanks for watching. I'm trying to root our family's 50-year-old pear tree from limb cuttings. I have my grandma's green thumb and hope they take root. Awesome. Awesome. That's wonderful. Rob took a cutting from a lilac bush that my grandparents gave us when we moved into this house like 29 years ago, and that's starting to take root. Angela, just so you know, for the hashtag for the prize, it's just gratitude, not attitude of gratitude, although I appreciate the sentiment for sure. I just want to make sure you're in the drawing. But thank you. That's really beautiful. And that's something, gardening can really connect generations and connect people. And I think that's where, both of the groups that I showcased, the free gardening seeds and plants, and also tomato obsession is, gardening is kind of a lonely thing, but when you do it with a group of people that love it also, like that connection's really awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun in those groups. Everybody's so nice and
They are
very
they
loving.
are.
I'm so glad I found them.
Me too.
Because I wouldn't have met you.
I know, your new best friend.
I know, my new best friend.
I think we would have stuck with 56 varieties of tomatoes this year had it not been for me joining that group. But it's all a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Melissa, no, your hashtag, your name's not showing up. So I would watch from the YouTube channel and try again. You still have maybe like 10 more minutes before I have to start the prize, but we'll wait for you. Persistent Gardeners, the name of the group. Did I miss any here? Tip. Okay. Somebody says it's been great for my mental health.
Yes.
I agree. I agree. Oh, June's here. Hey, June.
Oh, hi,
You must know June, one of our tomato heads. Every week I wear a gratitude t-shirt. I get them as gifts and everybody's so kind, and I kind of collect them. I think this is the only week I've ever not worn a gratitude shirt.
But there's tomatoes.
There's tomatoes. I had to wear my Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head shirt. Mel says, I need to take a lot of breaks when I'm working in my garden, especially early in the season. If I don't remember to do that, I'll really pay for it later. I hear you.
Headaches.
I hear you. Yeah.
You can get dehydrated very easily. And when I get dehydrated, I get headaches. So I have to remember to take breaks, go inside, chug some water.
Yeah. And I do too. And I forget to eat too, which is not a good thing.
Yeah. I did that today.
Did you?
Yes. I was like eating some cottage cheese right before I got on here. I think that was like the first I ate besides a banana, I think. And yeah. So not good.
No, it's not good. But it's, when you love something and
hey, look, it's playing.
Before I put that up there, I just wanted to finish. Okay. So I've had artists and art therapists come on and talk about doing things that put you in a state of flow. And flow meaning things that, kind of help you be mindful, practice mindfulness, and help you to forget about things like chronic pain or whatever struggles you're dealing with. And for me, gardening definitely puts me in a state of flow, which is why I forget to eat and drink sometimes. Yeah. All right. I hate to take up our time, but let me see if there's any more tips in here. Since tonight during the broadcast, it's going to be dark outside. There are things out here that I personally own that I would like to showcase as far as, utilizing your space and making the most out of your space if you have any. And if you don't, you might be interested in this. So first thing, and I just got these last year, this is called a green stalk. Yeah, it's a big tall thing, and they make them in two different versions. This is called the leaf version, Leaf, which has shorter pockets. And then over there I've got, can you see that? Where is it? Yeah, over here is the regular version, which has deeper pockets. These are absolutely fantastic if you want to plant a lot and you're not only limited on space but limited mobility. They have them in various colors. They're great for planting a lot of things. Now, space isn't really an issue for me. I do have a lot of space in my yard. But I try to, like our guest tonight, Jen, she will tell you, I try to maximize every single inch by planting things. So this one I've got planted already, planted up with cool weather crops, and they're freestanding, but you can get either on wheels or a spinner. This is, I like the spinner because I don't need to move it around really at all. You also don't need to get them this tall. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiered version. I think they have them in 3 and 5. So you don't have to get them this big, but I go big with everything. When you water here on the top, and it trickles down. There's this great system that will water all of the pockets for you just by watering on top. Now, obviously, if you've got mobility issues, getting to the bottom might be an issue depending on what your abilities are. But I think these are great for limited space. Also have way too many, but if you have a deck or a railing, on Amazon you can find, railing planters. So, you're not committing to actually planting something in the ground. I use these for, I've used them for kale. In fact, I've got some kale growing over there. All kinds of things. What else have I used it for? A lot of lettuce. You couldn't really plant tomatoes in here with their deep root system, but you could plant some micro dwarf tomatoes. I've got some over here these were experimental. I planted them when it was still frosting. These were extras I had. But yeah, micro dwarfs would do just fine in here. What else? Then there's these, you can find these on Amazon as well. These are rolling cart planters. Here I've got some lettuce. Some of it actually came back from last year. Some reseeded itself. So these are great for like herbs, lettuce, like I said. I did kale in one last year. I've got mustard growing in one over there. So these are fantastic. If you cannot bend down, things like this are a great option for you to do that. What else did I want to show you while I was out here? Grow bags. I'm a big fan of grow bags. Grow bags are these cloth, grow bags, and you can put things in them, and you can move them around so they're not permanent, and they come in a variety of sizes. This one is a 1 gallon grow bag, and I plant tomatoes often in 10-gallon grow bags. This is kind of an experiment I'm doing, but this is a tomato plant that I planted out early, and this is called a season starter or a wall of waters or cozy coat. So this one is actually a dwarf tomato, not a micro dwarf, but a dwarf. They get to be about 2 to 4 feet tall. So 5-gallon grow bag is just fine for that. I think that was all I wanted to show you. Oh, one more thing. Kind of a bad example because they're kind of on their way out, but I will show you a picture. These are, I got these Rubbermaid tubs. So I was growing lettuce indoors all winter long. And so what I did, and I'm not the most creative person, like to come up with, no, I shouldn't put myself down like that. This is pretty creative. So these are 2 Rubbermaid bins, one on top of the other. The top one, I drilled holes in, drainage holes, and then the bottom one has no holes. So we had lettuce all winter long. I always thought lettuce was kind of boring. I didn't bother with it, to be honest with you. But just with a simple, inexpensive grow light, you can grow lettuce indoors. That one over here, they're all kind of on their way out. I've just planted more, but the great thing about most lettuce is you can cut, it's called cut and come again. So, I was cutting the outside leaves for our nightly salad, and then it grows back to a point. This is a great, great way to beat the winter blues also, honestly, because to see things growing in the winter, when everything's so dark and gray, at least here in my neck of the woods, and being able to harvest some food during the winter. And micro dwarfs, the same thing. You can grow micro dwarf tomatoes all year long. So you don't even have to use these particular bins, but any bin that you have drainage holes in, it could be a lot smaller, but I go big with everything. This was great. I'm going to put some pictures in of some of my awesome harvests from this winter. So I think that's all I had to show you while I was out here. Railing plant. Ooh, I've got some things growing here. Let's see. Got to see some green. This is radicchio. Finally, I've been waiting for that. So there are a lot of things you can do to maximize little space and not being able to bend down. Like I said, these rolling cart planters, there are many of them on Amazon. Those are a great way to not have to bend, but still garden. And I'm a big fan of these green stalks. Probably they have sales quite a bit on green stalk, and I'll put the link to the company in the show notes, but they often have sales. Mother's Day in the US is coming up. I guarantee you they'll have a sale. But yeah, anywhere from 3 to 5 tiers. And man, I just love the variety of things I can plant in them. It's still kind of new in here, so it's not overflowing. But you can plant in the deep one. There's a sheet that says everything you can plant. They claim you can grow corn. I don't know. That sounds a little weird to me, but in the leaf planter, that's great for lettuce and herbs and, everything contained. I've grown micro dwarf tomatoes in these. So, you can come out here and, hey, I'm in the mood for kale, and look at this beautiful kale. All right, I digress. I get off track. So these are some of my outdoor things that I wanted to show you because it's going to be dark when the show. All right, we get the picture. I'm glad it worked. It sounds like a commercial or like I'm sponsored by Green Talk. I am not. I wish.
They are great. They are
They
really
are
cool.
great. Yeah.
And they're American made. They're made
They
in the
are.
USA, so.
Yeah. Was it a Shark Tank thing? I forget. It was maybe
I don't know.
or something.
I don't know. That's cool if it was, though.
I don't know. They are very popular. I saw some great comments come in. Cheryl says planting herbs are like natural aromatherapy. That's a great point. They really help give me calmness and energy, which helps with my chronic pain. Basil and sage, I just rub and inhale their intoxicating perfume.
Oh yeah, holy basil. Oh
yeah, holy
stuff
basil.
Is just I can't walk by it without just like getting some and just rubbing it in my hands. It is glorious.
It is. And I think I've had my gardening win for the year already, is that I got lavender to germinate.
Oh, yes.
I've never tried to grow lavender, but it's a process. You've cold stratifying, you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator for a month, and I couldn't get it to germinate, but I got some to germinate. So that's my win. Kathy says, and tomatoes, want to try them all. I found Jen first, then Tomato Obsession, from her video to feed the addiction.
Oh, yay! I'm so glad I was helpful in bringing you into the group.
That group's growing.
Oh, tomato lovers,
fast.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It seems like every hour I am like accept. I'm accepting so many people recently.
It really is a great group. Like I said earlier, I belong to a few other tomato groups, which I rarely go to because you can't share a photo without people jumping all over you. These armchair experts on tomatoes. I don't like that.
Yeah, and Tony, who's the creator of the groups, he's really big on like you're either kind or you're out.
Yeah, I like that. I appreciate that. He also has, I keep mentioning Tomato Obsession, but he has other groups. He's got Gardening Obsession.
Pepper
Well,
Obsession,
Pepper.
Flower Obsession, Berry Obsession. Then he had one, it's called Peppers for Dummies. I was all over that. I'm like, that's me.
I also want to mention again one more time for those of you that may have tuned in late, this group, Free Gardening Tips, Seed, and Plant Swap. Melanie runs it, and she has all sorts of fun games every day. There's so many opportunities to win free seeds all the time. She's very creative. So check that out as well. I know we're running out of time, and I want to get to some of these comments.
I can't believe it's been an hour. You said it would go by fast.
I know.
I haven't even said anything yet.
We'll keep going. Facebook user says, "Uh-oh, this is just going to overfeed my gardening addiction." Glad to be of service.
Yes, absolutely. You're welcome.
Angela says, "Awesome. I used to be an art therapist with brain injured patients. My late brother was brain injured, and helping people like at home brought me joy." That's nice, Angela. That's nice.
Wonderful.
And I'm wishing you luck with your mom's here she goes again, and she got the hashtag gratitude. Good. I've grown many cuttings from the heirloom rose bush my late mom got when she married in 1953. That's amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love hearing stories like that.
Me too. Awesome patio garden, great for people like me who can't bend down well. Yeah, that's what I was hoping to show.
There's actually something similar to the green stalks at the Dollar Tree. Give me 1 second. I'll show you.
Yeah, sure. While she's looking for that, again, get it, hashtag gratitude, and we'll give away that nifty prize I put together.
Okay, so these are the smaller version, but they have a bigger version of these, and they come in a set of 3, or maybe it's a set of 2 for the bigger ones. But these were the first time I saw these this year, but they're like the little tiny ones that you can do the same kind of thing. But these would be cool for like basil, and
they would.
And I guess you could stack them as much as you want, but they have them bigger. They're like about 3 or 4 times this size. Not as big as the green stalk, or as durable, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's something, and it's, to start out with, if you didn't want to spend the big bucks on the green stalk and you wanted to see if you could grow something in something like that.
That's a fabulous idea. That vertical gardening is really a great way to, be able to garden with limited space. Yes. I have a bigger one for my strawberries. What's that?
I said grow upwards. Yeah. I have a lot of arches in my garden too, because a lot of things that vine, you can grow up over arches.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
It is pretty. It's totally pretty. What did I want? I want to ask you so many things. One you're going to kill me for, because it's a very mean question for a tomato lover. I'll just ask, what's your favorite tomato? I know. I like asking who your favorite tomato is.
Okay. Well, I will pick the one that impressed me the most last year. It was called Harvard Square.
I'm growing that.
Yeah. So I did a taste test on it, and if you watch my reaction, it's just kind of like, it was like a wow moment. Like I
did see that. You didn't know how to describe it.
No, it was so like, I don't know. It was just very different than any tomato I'd ever tasted before. It was like sweet, but then savory. Like, I don't know, like almost like, it's going to sound weird to say it, but like meat. I don't know. But it was really, really good. And so Harvard, and it was beautiful too. It was like a green. Yeah. You like your greens, so
I like green when ripe tomatoes.
Like it was like stripy. It had some pretty colors. It was really beautiful, and it was. I just really enjoyed it. So I'll pick that one. Harvard
All right,
Square.
I'll take it. I was excited when I heard that, because I am growing that for the first time this year.
I'm not growing it this year.
No, well,
I'm not growing. Everything I'm growing is completely new. Completely new.
Every single one.
Every single one. I'm not growing anything I've ever grown before. And I'm like, it was so hard for me to like cut everything else out. But, and I still have like 400 varieties. And
I know. There's so many good
What's
ones.
wrong with me? I love tomatoes.
The problem is that, like, and I've heard, so Brad Gates, for those of you that aren't tomato heads, he he is a tomato breeder, believe it or not. So he will take 2 varieties and he'll breed them to create a new variety. And I heard him on a podcast saying that there's been more new varieties come out of tomatoes within the past 10 years than all in existence, which is super exciting. So
Yeah,
why not want to try them
I'm
all?
never gonna own them all.
I know.
I got to breed my own tomato like you. That's so cool that you have.
Well, ours was
bananas, noir.
ours was very accidental, but you know.
Oh, I hope I have
very
an
happy
accident
with
like that.
The bigger size comes in a pair of 2 and works wonderful for herbs. This is Amanda Hop, by the way. Hi, Amanda. So glad I caught this, but couldn't find it on YouTube. Oh, that's strange. I have it pinned to the top of the page, but it's a little late now. I'm sorry to hear that. Kathy says, what I enjoy about gardening is seeing the daily growth and changes, for sure.
And it can really, in one day, just blow your mind how much stuff can grow.
I know. I planted zucchini and cucumber over the weekend, and they they're really fast growing.
In natural light and rain, like actual rain from the sky, instead of not you watering, that it can really change the growth of a plant.
Yeah,
in one day.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, your kitty cat's making an appearance back there.
Oh my gosh.
I have a gardening shovel, but the handle is 2 feet long, less bending. Great tip, Kathy. Thank you. Shoot, I want to get to more. We're already over. I want to get to more comments. You're just going to have to come back on.
Okay. You twisted my arm. No.
we have a tomato one. Favorite is Cherokee Purple.
Oh yeah, that's
tried and true.
Oh,
it really is. That's our number 4 on the taste test. And that made the cut this year. That's a really good one.
Yeah, there were so many. I was bummed. I'm like, no, Cherokee Purple.
I know. It's a shame. So let me remove this. So thank you guys for watching. I just want to put up Jen's channel again. I can't recommend it highly enough. Even if you're not into growing tomatoes, you're going to love her channel.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's not just tomatoes. You really like.
No, I'm just sharing my life. Things that I like to do. There's crochet on there. There's a little bit of cooking, even though I don't know how to do that. But
you wouldn't know it.
Canning, gardening taught me how to can. My mom used to can when I was growing up, and it seemed so intimidating. But when I started having all this abundance of tomatoes, I was like, well, what do I do with them? I got to can them. So I learned how to can, which it's really fun too. So there's some of that on the channel. There's just whatever I want to share.
You're also very like, depending on what time of the year it is, your house is always decorated depending on the holiday, which I love. I love that.
It's
very
a little
cute
crazy.
decorator.
It's
not. It's not.
My husband would say otherwise. He's like, you got to stop. There's no place to put this stuff. I'm like, I'll find a place. I'll find a place for tomatoes.
There's always a space. That's why when Rob asks how many varieties, I'm like, that's very subjective, yeah. All right. So gang, thank you so much for being here and for contributing to this really fun broadcast. Let's give away, we'll give away 3 of these packets. And here's our giveaway tool. Good luck. If you win, please private message me and send me your address.
Oh, I see some names on there I recognize.
Yeah, we've got tomato heads here. Congratulations, Mel. You've been a lucky winner of lots of things lately. So I've mentioned this, but there's no way for me to remove a winner. So I'm going to do it again. And if Mel wins again, we'll just draw somebody else. Thank you, tomato heads, for watching tonight and for my gratitude gang. Helen Lindsay. Congratulations, Helen.
Congratulations, Helen.
And one more. Linda Canalicchio. Congrats, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
So in the packet, I will put some a little bit of just general instructions on how to plant them, but they're very easy and low maintenance. Otherwise, I wouldn't subject you guys to this. So I just want one more plug for these groups. Free Gardening Tips, Seed and Plant Swap is a fantastic Facebook group, as well as Tomato Obsession, which Jen is a moderator of. And Jen's channel, you can find her. Yeah, it's so much fun. It really is so much fun. And Jen's YouTube channel, Jen Joy Your Day. You can find it at Jen Joy. And yeah, I hope you guys I know I'm a bit all over the place. It's really tough when you marry your two passions in one episode. And
Right.
I kept postponing this episode the last couple weeks because I'm like, no, I need more time. I need more time. And I was changing things right up until the
Yeah,
last minute.
I made notes. You said you were going to ask me a question, and I was like, oh, I know I could talk about that.
Oh, we have to do that one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You guys have to hang out just a couple minutes longer. I have to ask this question because yeah. So how do you find gratitude and gardening go together for you?
all right. Well,
Thank you
like I
for
said,
reminding
there's
me.
like so many things I could talk about. One, I'm grateful for it because I found it in a time when my daughter was like, she was becoming, self-sufficient. She was about 16 years old. And I thought to myself, I'm going to become depressed because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so and gardening is time consuming. So I'm just grateful, for the learning experience and getting out there and it using up my time instead of me being in here depressed that my one and only child is, so it's a good hobby if you need something to take up some time. I was grateful for that. It's also taught me, I'm grateful for the way that it taught me how to love things that before I didn't like spiders and snakes. Those things have a purpose in the garden. Whereas before, bees, like bees sting, but just leave them be and just like walk away from them, like you're in their space. Excuse me, kitty cat. But like spiders, like before I would just squash them, but they're in your garden and they eat the bad bugs. They eat those bad bugs off your plants. And if you kill the spiders, then you're going to have trouble with the bugs. So, I've learned how to be grateful that I see a creepy spider. Now their webs are really pretty. And I'm just like, how do you guys do that? That's so impressive. But I'm still creeped out by them, but I will now leave them be. I don't see a lot of snakes where I live, but it's the same with those. The snakes eat the moles. They eat the things that'll like ruin or, mess up the roots of your plants. So I'm just grateful for learning that how everything has a reason in the garden. And before I didn't think like that. It's like, oh, just kill everything.
Yeah, me too.
All the bugs are bad, but they're not. And what else did I write down
The
here? There's just so
life.
many things that I can be grateful for that gardening has introduced me to. Like I said, canning, like learning how to put up my own food. It's just when you start to garden, you're more connected to the earth. And I don't know. There's just something about it that just, I don't know, brings you joy and happiness and comfort in what you're doing. Yeah. So
I agree. For me, it's a perspective shifter for me too. Like being
yes.
connected to the earth and knowing that the world doesn't revolve around me.
Right.
At all. The world, like even that spider serves a purpose, like you said.
Right. Oh, my daughter's coming home.
Hello, daughter. Stop growing up, Jade.
Yeah, hear that? She's going to turn 21 this year.
Oh,
I know. We're going to go to Vegas.
Oh, fun. So Jen, thank you so much for being here. And gang, thank you guys for hanging out long. I knew this episode would go fast, but it's gone lightning speed.
Well, have me back again. I really enjoyed it.
I absolutely will. So if you guys are interested, for those of you gratitude, gratitude gangsters from the group, if you want to see my alter ego, you can find me on YouTube on a new channel and Facebook, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. But I'm still kicking around AOG doing my gratitude thing. So make sure you check out and subscribe to Jen's channel. Where is it? One more time. Jen Cordial on YouTube. And you've been a fantastic guest.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My BFF. Really a lot of fun. Thank you to the live viewers who contributed tonight. And also for those of you watching the recording, thank you for taking part in it as well. And I will see you next week. Peace and love, and get your gratitude on, and get
Bye,
your tomatoes on.
everyone.
Bye, gang. I never do the closing very, very eloquently. All right, here we go. Bye, gang.